Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Who We Ood, an unofficial Doctor Who watch along podcast. Today, we are talking about the final serial of season 19, Time Flight with the Fifth Doctor. But before we talk about the episode, my name is Ben, and I'm here with my co-host Cam. How you doing today, Cam?
I'm doing good. I last night I watched Die Hard for the first time.
For the first time as a film guy?
It was one of my it probably was my biggest movie I haven't seen. Yeah, I just always was like putting it off just because I like so many people say it's so good. So I'm like, do I really need to see it? Oh, I saw it. It's very good.
Yes, it is.
It's very good. I think tonight after we record this podcast, I'm gonna watch two, which I don't think is supposed to be as good. But people like three, so I'm gonna get through two to watch three. And three is when the director John McTiernan comes back.
I see. Are you gonna go down the whole line?
I don't need to watch
Die
the
Hard with
fourth and
a
fifth one.
a vengeance? I don't know which one
I don't
that
even remember
is.
what the other one is with Jack Courtney.
Live Free or Die Hard?
Yeah.
A Good Day to Die Hard? I think that's the last one. No, yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance is the third one. So there's five. Well, I hope you enjoy that. I've only seen the first one, but it's very good.
It's very good.
The I feel like it's most noteworthy in popular culture as the dilemma of is it a Christmas movie or not?
Yeah.
What's your hot take?
It's a Christmas movie. It's set in Christmas. There's a lot of Christmas music in it. It's a Christmas movie.
Does it just have to be set around Christmas time for something to be a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
That's all you need? Does it need to have Christmas themes?
Like I think Eyes Wide Shut's a Christmas movie. Have you ever seen Eyes Wide Shut?
No.
That's a Christmas movie. In the past, I have watched that on Christmas Day, which is a very weird tone for Christmas Day.
Something to really sit down with your family and watch. Your little cousins and your grandmother.
I'll just want to know about Tom Cruise having the dilemmas of modern marriage.
Wow.
How are you doing today, Ben?
I'm doing good. Watching Pluribus.
What a show.
I watched the second episode last night. Vince Gilligan is just a master of his craft.
No, and this has put him at another tier of TV showrunner of like, there is like the other contemporaries of his, like David Chase, who was the showrunner of Sopranos, and Matthew Weiner, the showrunner of Mad Men. They never had another good show. But this is a case of like, he has now had not two great shows, but three great shows.
I mean, it's a little early, but it's a very promising start.
It's not early, Ben. It's you know that it's Vince Gill. Like he's gonna keep up the quality. I don't think that there's any way that we're gonna get to the end of season one and gonna be like, oh, he really screwed us on that one.
Yeah.
It's very good. The biggest the shock I had is I mentioned this to you last night of just like a lot of Apple TV shows have like big stars. Even Severance has like
Yeah, no.
Christopher Walken and John Turturro. This one has like just Ray Seahorn.
The biggest star is a supporting actress from his previous TV show.
Who did nothing else really of consequence other than that.
She was in Bad Boys Ride or Die. I mean, she's been in quite a few things, just nothing.
But like when you compare it to the other Apple TV shows have like Colin Farrell, Jason Momoa, even like Rebecca Ferguson, like these are big stars, Ben.
Yeah.
And then you just have I think they just were like, no, the star of this one is gonna be Vince Gilligan. That they just gonna sell it on. This is the first new show from the guy who brought you Breaking Bad.
Yes. And it isn't the Breaking Bad universe that is great. It's him.
But still set in Albuquerque, which I love.
Yeah, he loves Albuquerque.
He's talked about that, like he just loves like he loves the crew there, and you have to think about it, like some of those guys, like just like the Crips and the just
Oh,
all the
yeah.
departments he's been working with since 2008. So he's just like, I just want to work with those same people again.
Does he film it in Albuquerque?
Yeah, that like it's all set. So it's like he does a really good job of like making those creating jobs in that environment and having an industry there. Something cool that I found out, well, then we'll get to Doctor Who, but something cool I think you might find interesting is I was listening to the podcast, it was very good. And the podcast they talk about like that cul-de-sac that Carol lives in.
Hmm.
That was all made.
Really?
So you think, oh, that's just like they just started shooting that in a cul-de-sac. No, that is all those houses were built from scratch for the show,
Wow.
which is insane. you could never tell.
Very good show. Kinda crazy. That first episode in
Oh no,
particular is just
yeah.
a wild ride,
But even the second episode's really wild.
and I have no idea, like, where it's gonna go. Like, it's gonna be multiple seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I haven't told you this though, but like, yeah, he part of the deal he made with Apple was that no matter what, he's making a season 2. He got like that on the contract that they have to guarantee for a second season. So we know we're at least gonna get a second season. So it's just like how like I have no idea how he's gonna move because even like Breaking Bad, you kind of like okay, this guy has to most likely either get caught or die.
Yeah,
Right, or he's either gonna die from cancer or from doing crime, or he's gonna die from, or he's gonna get caught by Hank.
yeah.
And with Better Call Saul, it's like we all knew the destination for Better Call Saul. The mystery was just how he's gonna get to that point.
There are many different avenues that Carol could go.
Bet, stop. No spoilers for Pluribus.
It's crazy though. But
Highly recommend.
yes, but this is not a Pluribus podcast. This is a Doctor Who podcast. Today we're talking again about time flight.
A much different show, a much just different episode rather than Pluribus.
Indeed. Before we jump into it, I'll give a quick synopsis.
Where are we gonna get the synopsis from today, Ben?
It is from the back of the Target novelization.
Okay, go on, Ben. Let's kick us off.
The Doctor and his companions arrive on Tegan's home planet at a moment of crisis.
Wow, I was really wondering when we're gonna get to Tegan's home planet.
After all this
I
time,
wonder where that could be.
a Concorde aeroplane has inexplicably vanished while in flight. The Doctor, Tegan, and Nyssa, together with the TARDIS, join the crew of a second Concorde that sets out to simulate the fateful journey of the missing supersonic jet. Coming back to Earth is not the return to normality that the rescue team might reasonably have expected. Seeing is believing, people say. The Doctor and his friends begin to realize that it just isn't as simple as that. Dun dun dun. Some facts. This is written by Peter Grimwade, who previously directed Earthshock and Kinda and Legopolis in Full Circle. Will go on to write Modern Undead and Planet of Fire in the next 2 seasons. This was directed by Ron Jones, who previously did Black Orchid and will do a couple more 5 and 6 Doctor stories. I think most notably Vengeance on Varos. This was broadcast March 22nd to March 30th, 1982 on BBC One. So Cam, what did you think of Time Flight?
All right, before we get into it, I just want to read this quote from Peter Davison. Very good story, but we ran out of money. We filmed the prehistoric landscape of Heathrow Airport in Studio 8 with the model Concorde in the back of the studio. The monsters were a bit of foam. We didn't do the story justice. So, my thoughts. I watched the first 2 parts and I did go, oh, this is story kind of overhated. And then I watched the rest of the 2 parts and I'm like, I am like so bored right now. I can't even tell you how bored I am. It's pretty much like where Classic Doctor Who fails for me is when it's boring and I just don't care about what's happening. And this is one of those cases where it's just like I did for a good chunk of the story when they're just talking about nonsense. I'm just like I cannot get invested into this story. Like I think it works a little bit when it's like the stuff with Heathrow, just because it's like, oh, this is different. We don't see this regularly. And then part 2, it's like, okay, there's a little bit of mystery here. What's going on? But then once we find out more of what's going on there, I'm just pretty bored. What did you think of it?
Yeah, similar experience. That first part, I was like, ah, this isn't that bad. Sounds interesting. Name dropping unit. I mean, all the stuff in the airport, I think, is fine. And then we go through the time contour. And before that, at the beginning of the episode, it's like in the TARDIS dealing with Adric's death, explaining that we can't go back. We can't go and save him as much as I want to.
But it's so like lame. It's only like 2 or 3 minutes. And it's just, can we go back? And the doctor's like, no, we can't.
Don't ask me again.
He doesn't go like, oh, the time we can't interfere with our own time stream. Like I wish we could, but like the time stream is like it will shatter if we do anything like that. There are lots of time, and it's like it's not that. It's just like, don't ask me again.
Yeah. I mean, he could be a little bit more understanding.
But like also it's like this story, if you made it today, would have been all about the grief of losing Adric. That would have been like the metaphor of the story. But like the classic Doctor Who does not do that. The
No.
story does nothing. We actually see Adric this story. I was shocked to see Adric.
Yeah, and it's not archive footage. They got Matthew Waterhouse back, which I was looking in some of the, like, fun facts on the wiki page. The reasoning that is stated behind that is so that his name would be on the credits list in Radio Times, which would come out prior to the last part of Earthshock,
Uh,
so that people aren't spoiled that Adric is gone.
Makes sense.
So he just had a little cameo.
John Nathan Turner. That's when he's a smart producer, not when he okays a script that's all in like caves and prehistoric settings, and like the first part of the episode is all about the Concorde, and they're so exciting because it's like, oh shit, we've never seen like the Heathrow or something like Heathrow Airport in Doctor Who before. But like that they must have spent so much time on that they couldn't spend. They did not care about the rest of the story.
Yeah. I think the moment that we go through the time contour and we get this really bad CSO effect of them.
Yeah, because it's at first it's like it's kind of like it's a CSO effect because they're like still projecting that it's Heathrow.
Yeah.
It's like a vision of Heathrow, but like they're actually like, no, no, we're not there. We're in a prehistoric times.
And then we get to this bad set. And then we see Khaled going, ooh, yeah, to an empty room.
Which it's similar to the doll and Terror of the Autons, where it's definitely racist. I don't know what particularly why it's racist, but it's racist.
What do you mean you don't know why? It's
but like
it's a caricature of an Asian man
but like you know what I mean. It's just like it's just
saying
pure
nonsense,
it's just
Asian
pure
mysticism, looking in a crystal ball. What are you confused about the racism?
I'm just confused with why am I looking at this? Why did they make this?
I mean, yeah, that is the question.
And also, again, why? Yeah, spoilers. Why is it the master? Why did the master decide? I need to, like, it's one of those times in Doctor Who where the master fully commits to his disguise, and he's like, you know what? How long do you think he was in that disguise for?
I don't know, because he was in that disguise, presumably before the doctor arrived. He keeps up the act in an empty room. He keeps up the act to the passengers. There's no reason why it couldn't just be the master commanding the passengers, or even like the benefit that he gets for being like half a step ahead of the doctor just in terms of his identity when they eventually meet. It's not worth the racist caricature. I don't know what you're thinking, Master. It's purely for the audience's benefit, and this is just a story that is not well written, I think.
No, you can definitely tell this is one of his first writing credits.
Yeah, just the logic of the Master's plan is incredibly flawed. Doesn't make sense. It's very boring. It's super cheesy, and not in a fun way like the Time Monster is. It's just bad. I think even if they had more money, it would still be bad. I don't think money is the problem.
No, that's why I mentioned that quote from Peter Davison. It's like, no, money is not the problem here. This could have
Like, it
been
doesn't help,
this
but
could have had a modern budget and it would still be bad.
yeah, it's just not good.
No, but also like the main problem is that at a point it just becomes very boring. And again, it's one of those times where Classic Doctor Who, it's all in sets and it's not interesting looking sets, so it just becomes all just bland to look at, and the dialogue isn't really interesting. So you're just in a state of just like boredom. That's the only thing I can think
Yeah.
of. It's just a state of boredom.
Do you know the moment where I really got turned off is I think it's towards the end of part 3 where we'll talk about it in a minute, I guess. The Xeraphin. They're
Yeah.
like, there's a good Xeraphin and an evil Xeraphin, and he's like, I'm gonna summon another evil Xeraphin, and the doctor's like, we gotta put join our minds, and we gotta stop the Xeraphin from summoning another evil Xeraphin." And they all put their hands together, and they're like, "Ooh, doctor, I can't hold on much longer. Hold on, Tegan." And it's just, it's so bad. It's
Yes.
so bad.
No, that's a similar moment for me of like if it was around that time where I'm just like I have lost all of my interest in this story.
Like, in what world could that scene be done well?
There's no world. But Concords are cool. Did you know about the Concords, Ben?
No.
Did you do any research on the Concords? Did this interest you at all?
My father anecdotally mentioned that, oh, yeah, at the time you know, he grew up in the 80s. They were like, oh, yeah, it was like revolutionizing things you could get from America to Europe in an hour, but also it is crazy expensive.
Yeah, and like there was a accident in the like 2000 that made it so that like they just stopped doing it altogether. So it was too expensive and that. But like the one of the coolest things about it is that like that's how Phil Collins famously on Live Aid was the only performer that performed both in the New York Live Aid and then took a Concorde flight and performed at the UK Wembley Stadium Live Aid, which is just fucking crazy that he did two concerts on two different continents.
In the same day. Wow.
You could only do that back then on the Concorde. You could not do that today because it would take too long to fly there.
But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Kind of cool. You think the Concords are just kind of cool? It's cool.
Sure.
I love the look of them too. The cool look of them. They look cool.
Yeah, the like pointed noses.
Like they look like it's much more looks birdish than a typical plane.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, sure, yeah. I think, setting aside Khalid and Xeraphin, I think the most interesting stuff here is Heathrow
Yeah.
and what Tegan, her relationship with this story and its events. She's finally at Heathrow. She's there, and she gets to be a stewardess, finally, using her training to help the doctor. And spoiler, she gets left behind.
But yeah, but then there's a line in there that she's like, I like traveling with the doctor. Something along those lines. It's just like you gotta feel bad for her at the end, you know? Of course we know that she's gonna return. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen it. Somebody who's watching this in order is going, damn you. But it's very interesting to leave that be the season cliffhanger that people would have to wait to see. Is Tegan coming back? Is that how they're gonna end Tegan? Really anticlimactic way to end Tegan's run with the doctor.
Yeah. I wonder if was like a moment, a breaking point where they're like a contract thing, like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna keep her. Let's like half write her off and maybe she can come back or something.
But I could also imagine it's a good story for the next episode.
Yeah, it is a cliffhanger that will keep the kids waiting till next year.
But not even just the kids, the adults too would be like, "Oh, is she coming back?"
Hmm.
And also it allows Big Finish to do multiple stories set in between the time flight and Arc of Infinity of just Nyssa. Because I don't know if you know this, Janet Fielding. There was a while that she didn't want to do Big Finish.
Really?
So there was a that's why like Spare Potts, the most famous Fifth Doctor Big Finish, is only just Nyssa and the Doctor.
Really?
Yeah.
Have to check that out at some point. What do you think about the Xeraphin?
Very boring. I do not care about them at all. Did you care about them at all this story?
Mm-mm. Don't like their design, or I got nothing. I don't really care.
But that's like the biggest problem with the story is that there comes a point of the story where I just don't care. And like even though we're doing the podcast and I'm supposed to care about what's happening, I really can't find myself to find a way to care about the rest of the time flight.
Okay. What are your thoughts then on name dropping Unit and the Brigadier?
It's a nice way for him just to get out of the situation. That it's just like you could imagine a world that's just like, oh, okay, we gotta lock you up at the airport prison.
You should do that more often. It's kind of a get out of jail free card for any situation. Just, yeah, call Unit and they'll explain.
Yeah.
I'm the doctor. I go where I want.
Just tell him, hey, to say what's up to the brigadier for me.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like I don't know,
Cheating?
nostalgia bait or forced or anything to you.
No, because it makes sense in this scenario. And also remember, because of unit dating, like it wouldn't be that far away. Even though they're 19, I think they said 1885.
They definitely said the 80s.
I think it was 84, 85. They did do a particular date, but it's like technically with unit dating, it would still be 1980s, so the brigadier would still no, he would still be on like file with unit, or like the brigadier would still be in charge. So like it makes sense with the unit dating and stuff.
Yeah. The only mention in this episode is 1980s, where Tegan says, "This is the 1980s, Nyssa. Police boxes went out with flower power."
I thought they said a particular year. I might be wrong.
Say the TARDIS is the only link with the 20th century. Just 80. I mean, maybe they mentioned something in another story, but this story is just 80s. Present day.
Yeah, so John Pertwee could be on there doing something.
But they also imply that time has passed because the Brigadier could be a general by now.
He could have been a general right after the dealing with the Loch Ness monster promoted him. Who knows?
I mean, but we know he's a Brigadier in robot time.
But no, I'm saying in Loch Ness monster, this could have been right after Terror of the Zygons. It could be. Again, he doesn't know the exact time period.
But he's still the Brigadier.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I don't think.
No, I don't. One of us is not understanding the other.
Yeah,
His rank, I'm saying, doesn't change.
but he doesn't know. He doesn't know yet what time. He doesn't know what time it changes, or he doesn't know what time period he's actually in. He knows at a point.
I suppose he may not know the date. But you said if John Pertwee is still around, then if the Third Doctor exists, then the Brigadier is the Brigadier.
Yeah, but no. But I'm just saying it could. Who knows where we are? Unit dating is so confusing, man. Because again, if this is 1980, like 2, 3, 4, John Pertwee should be around, or at least robots should be happening. Like who know? Who knows, Ben? Who knows?
You're tapping your mic.
I know, but it's just unit dating gets me all frustrated about.
Ooh, okay. What else is there to talk about?
Ah, ooh. We get like that sequence where they see Adric and then they see the
Yeah,
other familiar faces.
I thought that was slightly interesting. They're having to like face their fears, confront things like Adric's death. The Melkor is an extension of her father's death, Nyssa. And then we have the pteroleptal is just there. What do you think in Nyssa, this story?
Don't got too much to say about Nessa this story. She's just kind of there. Like, she has like a little visions at points, but like, she's just one of those companions this story that's just like is there to be the smart one.
Yeah.
Doesn't have really that much to do this story.
No, barely anything except being like a medium
Yeah.
and getting like captured. I was listening to Josh Snares do ranking all the Fourth Doctor stories, and when it came time for Keep Their Chalkin, he expressed that Nyssa is he might have said his favorite Fifth Doctor companion, or he might have said just one of his favorite companions. Which, unless her next few stories are like crazy good, that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it with Nyssa. I don't dislike her. She's just most of the stories she's just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. Or she's a lot of times she's just stuck in the TARDIS, or just there just to help Adric out with some science stuff.
If it weren't for Tegan, this would be miserable.
Oh yeah. But I think that's why Janet Fielding does stay on longer, and she is synonymous with the fifth. She is the Fifth Doctor's companion. All right, Ben. How do you improve time flight?
I would say remove college, have it just be the master. You need to get a better villain plan. Just rework the whole logic.
Hold on. Let's go back to the master thing. You could have tied it with just like, hey, he's using some chameleon circuit in his TARDIS to make himself look different. Like, or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be like he's wearing this mask and has this voice. Like,
Just but there's no reason to have a disguise at all.
yeah.
Unless it's like protection from the elements or
Yeah.
something
But
weird.
also, this is a weird one where like it's not like the doctor goes to Heathrow because like, oh, the TARDIS found something that we have to investigate. They just kind of stumble upon this.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's expecting the doctor, which makes him have this disguise.
No, which, like I said, the master's plan here is terrible. Where he's, all right, I'm stuck on this prehistoric Earth. my TARDIS doesn't work. How do I get out? I'm going to disassemble my TARDIS, put this shit in this building that I guess was already here, make a time contour, wait for a Concorde to fly through so that the doctor would stumble upon it and also come through with his TARDIS because he needs the TARDIS, steal the TARDIS parts, fix his own TARDIS with those TARDIS parts, go back through the time contour, and now he can just do his own thing.
Yeah.
A lot of coincidences need to happen for his plan to work.
Hmm.
And it's just the logic here needs to be reworked. And I think separately, if we had more stuff in Heathrow and less on the bad sets, that would be better.
Yes. But also, like, it's hard because with the Heathrow stuff, that was expensive because then you'd have to shoot that, so you only have a limited amount of time. You can do that, but they could have went through like the sets that's inside Heathrow that they could have made and have it be more of a mystery. And like honestly, just get rid of all the prehistoric time stuff. Just have that be just like the masters behind the scenes on Earth, and now they have to solve where he has to go. They have to go to a warehouse where he's doing all this stuff to the Concords, and he's making them disappear because he hates the Concords or something like that.
At some point, just becomes a different story and not time flight.
But that's what the story needs. It needs a dramatic rewrite. This is not a little rewrites type of fixing.
Yeah.
The foundation does not work.
Eric Saywards needed to come down harder.
But also, I could imagine a world that like I didn't look it up too much. I didn't watch like the behind the scenes documentary for this one, the Blu-ray or anything. But like, I bet you it doesn't help that he was probably busy on Earthshock, as well as this is his real first time being a script editor for a script. So it's just like the combination of those two things probably didn't help the fact that like it did not work out. It needed probably more time, and the production probably just needed it to be done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And again, the writer is clearly not experienced enough to tackle this because he's doing things that just they cannot produce what he has written. Which of course does not mean that it's not a good story, but it definitely doesn't help things.
I'm looking on the wiki page. Sarah Sutton disliked the story largely because she had no idea what was going on in it.
I wish the new Who cast was this honest about some of the new Who episodes. Because the classic Doctor Who cast can do say stuff like that.
Eric Sayward wanted the Master to be killed off in this story as he felt the character had outlived his welcome. We just got him back. We already want the Master gone.
Eric Sayward said that it took several hours for the production team to decide that the title of the story should be hyphenated or not. So they clearly spent more time on if the title was going to be hyphenated than actually the script.
I have an alternative thing for you.
Yeah.
What if there was no Master, but it was only Khaled, Talons of Wang Chiang style?
But like he's just an awful character. Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
no, man, no.
Because even if it was just a Master, this incarnation of the Master is missing something. It's missing the secret sauce to make him the true Moriarty to the
Yeah.
Doctor.
The gravitas. Anthony Ainley does a really good job though, but he doesn't have that little panache.
He's fine.
All right, I want to just give a shout out to Peter Davison for this story.
Yeah.
All right, with Tom, you got a bad script. Tom doesn't want to be there on green screen. When you get an episode like Underworld or Power Crawl, you can tell Tom doesn't want to be there. It doesn't help the story at all. This story, even though it's shit, Peter is giving it his all. You got to give some
Oh,
credit
yeah.
to that. Peter is good this story. He is acting his ass off, trying to make this be good. He's treating this like this is going to be a good script. This is a good script, and this is going to be a good story.
Yeah. It's always nice when the main character isn't half-assing it. The starring actor.
Can't be taken for granted with Doctor Who, as we know from experience.
Indeed. Well,
Special effect, Ben.
there's a lot to choose from, but which is the worst?
Ooh. I would say any of like the special effects where like
Oh,
Maybe
the
the
bubbles,
bubble
maybe?
special effects, anything like that, that's just like it looks awful. Or that first beginning CSO scene where they think they're at Heathrow, but it's actually prehistoric times. That looks terrible.
Yeah. I don't understand why they couldn't just film because like, that scene starts with them on the real Heathrow,
Yeah.
and then it's CSO for,
Yeah.
like, 30 seconds,
But
and then it's a set.
it's just harder because it's not like a digital camera where you would just be able to line it up easily. Like they wouldn't have like that reference point in the studio.
I wish they filmed at the airport for, like, another 30 seconds.
But like you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't match it easily like they could today. Where you if you're shooting on a digital camera, you would just be like, okay, let's pull up that shot and let's just match it.
It isn't like a smooth transition, though. There's
Yeah,
a cut, and now we're
yeah,
on the set in a
yeah.
different position.
But I'm just saying it would still be you would still have issues. But you could have had it be like a wibbly wobbly special effect. And they're going, ah, we're moving around.
Is there any good effects here?
Heathrow Airport is a great special effect.
Outside of that, I thought when they're on prehistoric Earth and they're kinda standing underneath the Concorde, but it's a set, so it's just, like, the wheel and the pole, I mean, I thought that looked fine. That looked like a real.
It's fine, but it's like it's halfway, right? It's somewhat it's a good idea, but like the execution of it, you're still kind of going, oh, so they couldn't bring the plane, so all they could bring is that bit of the plane.
Yeah.
It kind of takes you out because you're just thinking, oh, there's the leg.
Yeah. Cliffhangers then?
Cliffhangers, man. Some of the most memorable cliffhangers in all of Doctor Who.
1, the plasmatons attack the Doctor, covering him in bubbles or something.
Were you scared for the Doctor? Did you think he was gonna make it out of this one?
I had a feeling he would. 2, Khaled reveals he was the Master all along.
Oh my god! I didn't see that one coming.
Crazy, bro. 3, the Master takes the Xeraphin sarcophagus, and the Doctor says, "The Master has finally defeated me,"
Wah, wah.
which he gives up way too quickly. He's like, "Well, shit."
It's over, guys. But nice knowing you.
And then, a rare part 4 cliffhanger of
A season cliffhanger.
a season cliffhanger. She's left behind.
And Big Fish is going, thank God. A gap that we can fill.
And which is the best?
Probably I like the end of the cliffhanger to be honest. I like that thing of like is Tegan gonna come back or not? Who knows?
Yeah, agreed. Well, Cam, what would you rate Time Flight?
All right. Even though we don't really do this, I'm gonna go back to Fourth Doctor. What did I give Power Crawl? I gave Power Crawl a 2.5. It's better than Power Crawl.
There's good parts here. There aren't really good parts in Power of Kroll.
And I gave Underworld a 2.7. I'm just gonna give this. I might be a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 4. I think that's fair. There's some stuff in it that I find a little bit interesting, but like
Yeah,
it tanks itself.
I think I agree. It's a 4. And so this is the finale for season 19. To talk about that briefly, uh, Cam, you gave this season an average rating of 7, and I gave it an average rating of 7.19.
So pretty much the same.
Yeah, for an average rating of just under 7.1.
A pretty okay season. It's not bad. There's some highlights,
Yeah,
but there's also some low points. A good start for this Doctor.
is it?
Like
It's just when you compare it to season 12 and season 7, I'm not nearly as endeared. Talking about the Doctor, I'm not nearly as endeared to Peter Davison's Doctor as I was to either of those.
but my defense is those are two of the best seasons of the whole show, Ben.
I know, just
It's kind of unfair. Like,
even season 1 and season 4,
yeah,
very quickly I can fall in love, and I love 1, 2, 3, and 4 a lot
yeah,
for different reasons. And I'm disappointed that a third of the way through his run, I still haven't fallen in love with this Doctor.
yeah. But like that's kind of the complaint with the Doctor is that a lot of people are just like, it's just there's nothing really there. He's kind of just a bland Doctor. We'll see how you feel Kaiser and Dazani might be the one
I
that
know.
you might have what Peter Davison felt. Where remember his quote was like, "Hey, I only found out how to play the role for Kaiser and Dazani. It took him into his last episode to crack it."
I mean, we've had this conversation several times. We'll probably have it several times more, but I want to love him. I need to find it still in here.
But like I will say, I prefer 19 over most of the not most all of the Graham Williams era. This is still an improvement on that.
Yeah,
We don't have any of the low points of that. And like there's still like Ford to Doomsday is the only one where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a pretty forgettable story.
yeah. I still, it feels like a step down even from 18 though,
Yes, it is a step down from 18.
which 18 has a half-assing Tom with a new showrunner who presumably is still figuring things out.
But you also have Christopher H. Bermeet there, who is an interesting writer.
Yeah.
And this one, you also have a production team where they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do now that Bermeet doesn't want to stay on for another season. They're putting it in the air.
Yeah.
Now, next season, Eric Sayward is full control over. So let's see if there is going to be a change there. If we're going to say, oh, yeah, you can definitely feel the Eric Sayward difference in the
Yeah.
scripts.
I know you've said you've seen like 1 to 2 stories per season for this Doctor?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you like the 5th Doctor more now that you've probably, like, doubled your viewing
I
numbers?
pretty much feel the same way that I felt about him, which is just he is just that. A lot of his stories you could basically fit any other Doctor in, except for those stories where he's really great in, where it's like, no, that is a definitive Peter Davison story, like Earthshock. Earthshock is a story where you're like, no, that is a Fifth Doctor story.
Yeah.
Which again, that guy that wrote that story is now going to be the script editor.
Yeah.
He's going to be more involved with the story. So let's see if that's going to change things next season. But also, I know next season there's not like people like Enlightenment, and I know that people like Snake Dance, similar to Kinda. In Morin Undead, I know people enjoy Morin Undead more than Time Flight. So it's like, okay, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm not going into this next season being like, oh,
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, especially the 5 Doctors. I'm really hyping myself up for 5 Doctors. All 5 Doctors. I don't know if this is spoilers or not. How well is the Shadow footage integrated
oh,
into this? Does
perfectly
it
well.
make sense?
Yeah, but also it's very funny. Like I don't want to spoil it. I know I can't spoil it.
Okay.
Actually, I will spoil it briefly. 'Cause I don't think you remember it particularly when we get there. But like the Five-ish Doctors does such a good fucking joke. In regards to that, I fucking wow. It's all I think about. Do you know about the Five-ish Doctors?
I know. I mean, it's on Letterbox. It's like a mockumentary anniversary, like 50th anniversary thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's all about Peter Davis and Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy not being in the 50th anniversary special, so they have to find a way to get inside the special. So like they're storming Jakarta to get into the special. It's so hilarious. I watch it every couple months and I laugh every single time.
Wow.
I'm so sad that we never got another version like that. Because it also helps that like it's one of those things where you could tell that Peter, Colin, and Sylvester have known each other now for many years, so they just get along very well.
Yeah.
Definitely, you will feel satisfied when we get to it because now that you will know all of the inside jokes by the time we get there.
Hmm. Wonder what's the most doctors that have been in a room together?
There was a brunch, I think, for charity where like a lot, most of all the ones that were living except for Tom was there. Basically, I don't think Eccleston was there, and I think Peter and David was on video call. But it was a big like breakfast or lunch or brunch with the doctors.
Google says there were 7 doctors. Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, David Tennant, Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, Peter Davison.
Yeah. So like I was saying, it's that's what if you were like the most that they've ever been in a room. That's if you count the virtual like two, that would be it.
Interesting. This is going very off topic now.
The only other time would maybe be there was an event in London for the 50th anniversary where a lot of them were, but there was never like one on stage where like all the doctors were on stage together. But there were at that event, most majority of them were there, including Tom.
I'm surprised there hasn't been anything like that. Like If they got 4 through 15 all on stage, how crazy would that be?
Yeah, but like, well, one you can't. Tom is like basically old enough that he doesn't do anything except for like he does one event a year. That like,
They could wheel him out just
Ben
for a
he's like
minute.
he's like 92.
As long as it's not in America, we should be fine.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Just don't let Tom make it in America. Or at this point, don't let any of the 80s doctors there either. Don't let the curse continue.
But anyway, I think that should do it for today's episode.
No, wait, Ben, we never did the rankings.
Oh, shoot. But, I mean, they know these people know what the rankings is. It's on Doctor Who magazine at all times, in all places, it's 20 of 20.
And on the 2014 poll, it ranked number 237. Underworld was above it. Time Lash was below it, which is insane that people actually thought Underworld was better than this.
That's kinda crazy.
I would watch Time Flight over Underworld.
Time Flight has good moments, Underworld does not.
No, except for the Pacifier.
Sure, I'll give you that one.
That was a fun moment. Join us next week for Aqua Infinity. America's back, Ben. Spoilers if you didn't already know this, Ben.
Oh, no, I've already seen his horrible design.
Not as bad as the recent one.
Yeah, probably.
At least that's kind of like a person.
Not a snail man.
And also, Colin Baker's in it. I don't know if you knew that. I might be just spoiled that for you.
No, I did. I know he had a Gallifreyan guard role. I don't know how big it is, but he's there.
So join us next week where we go back to Gallifrey and meet Omega.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Peace out, everyone.